Most people use ChatGPT like it's Google. They type a question, skim the answer, and move on. But here's the real issue. When your output still reads like it came from an intern and not a leader, that's not a prompting problem. That's a thinking problem. And it's exactly why your work keeps getting overlooked. Today, I'll show you one shift that flips that, so your AI actually reflects the level that you're already operating at. I'm Farah Shargi, former software engineer and Google technical recruiter. Now I help mid-career professionals stop playing the corporate game on hard mode and use AI to finally get seen for the level they're already operating at. Almost no one is talking about the step that comes before prompting, the thing that makes all of those courses and templates actually work. Here's what everybody skips. Before AI gives you a smart answer, you need to teach it what smart even means. You define the outcome, the rules, and the risks. That structure is what the model mirrors. Now, if you're using AI like it's Google, ask a question, get an answer, you're doing it wrong. Because what leadership sees isn't the final output, it's how clearly you think. And when the work seems vague, when priorities are missing or risks are unclear, you don't sound strategic, you look junior. And that's the real cost of skipping the setup. And it's exactly why high performers are quietly pulling ahead while everyone else stays stuck. Now, here's some good news. There's one prompt shift that changes everything. The solution is something that's called chain of thought prompting. So instead of just asking AI for an answer, you guide it through the steps that you take to solve the problem. You map out your thinking and the AI mirrors your logic. That's what transforms the output from generic to strategic. Now, I know this works because I have a bachelor's degree in computer science. And just like in programming, you can't solve anything until you define your variables. Same thing here. Chain of thought is how you get AI to reason before it responds. Here's the part almost everyone skips. Before you get a great answer out of AI, you need to teach it what matters. That means defining your objective, breaking down the problem into pieces, and walking the model through the same steps that you'd take if you were solving it yourself. In computer science, you add libraries, aka knowledge through books, and we define variables in our code before we do anything else. So for example, if I write A plus B without telling the system what A and B mean, it's going to return an error. ChatGPT and other AI tools work the same way. It's a calculator for words, not a mind reader. You get what you structure. If you don't define what success looks like or what the AI should prioritize, you'll end up with vague output, missing context, or worse, a good-sounding answer that's totally wrong. Chain of thought prompting forces both of you and the model, to slow down and think clearly. And that clarity, that's what separates leadership-level communication from basic task completion. This is the step that most prompt engineering tutorials completely skip. And it's why so many people think AI isn't working. But the truth is, it's not the tool, it's the setup. If you're not defining your problem clearly, your prompt won't save you. That's why this video isn't just about prompting, it's the prerequisite to actually making prompts work. Once your thinking is clear, then the techniques from those courses, like using personas, formats, reference examples, actually start performing like they're supposed to. Now, I want you to pause and think about the last prompt you gave ChatGPT. Did you tell it the goal, the risk, the success criteria? Most people don't, and it shows. Now, if this has helped reframe how you think, share it with a coworker. And if you're done guessing with AI and want to level up in your career, subscribe. This is where we get precise. Let me show you what this looks like in real life. You type, write a project update for leadership, and the AI spits out a vague status report. No priorities, no risk calls, no strategy. Now here's the part no one says out loud. When leadership reads that, they don't just think the update is basic. They assume you are. Now let's flip it. Using chain of thought prompting, you structure it like a leader would, walking through goals, milestones, risks, and next steps. Same input, different setup. And the output suddenly reads like it came from a director, not an assistant. That's real power. AI is showing your logic, not just guessing at a task. Now here is your pre-prompt checklist. The 3 things every great output starts with. Think about it like this. Step 1, define the goal. What's the outcome you're aiming for? Step 2, set constraints. What's the time limit, resource limit, or anything else AI needs to work within? Step 3, decide what a great answer looks like. How will you know if the output is good or misses the mark? This one is optional, but it definitely makes a difference. Define the risks. Are there obvious pitfalls or things that you want to preempt? Once you have those basics mapped out, then you can apply chain of thought to guide AI through the problem step by step. And without this setup, you're basically guessing, and AI is guessing too. Once you have your goal, constraints, and success criteria clear, then you can guide AI through solving the problem using chain of thought prompting. And depending on how much time you have, there are 3 ways that you can apply it. First, basic chain of thought. This is for everyday tasks when you want a quick boost in quality without spending extra time. At the end of any important prompt, add this. Let's think this through step by step. That one sentence triggers the model to reason out loud instead of rushing to the nearest lazy answer. So here's an example. You're drafting a leadership update, and instead of typing summarize project X, you prompt summarize project X. Let's think through the project goal, key milestones, risks, and recommended next steps. You're structuring the AI's output without doing the heavy lifting yourself. It's fast, and it immediately elevates how strategic your updates sound. Second, least to most chain of thought. This is for when the project is messy, too many moving parts, unclear deliverables, or a big decision that you have to prep for. Here, you manually break the problem into smaller pieces, then guide AI to work through them one at a time. Here's an example. You're preparing for a performance review. Instead of asking AI, help me prepare for my review, here's how you prompt it. First, list my 3 biggest wins this quarter. Second, tie each win back to a KPI. Third, anticipate 1 or 2 pieces of constructive feedback I might get. Fourth, suggest 1 strategic development goal I can propose to my manager. Now, instead of a vague prep document, you get a review game plan that sounds like it came from a rising leader, not someone scrambling to survive feedback. Third, zero-shot chain of thought. You can still trigger better thinking by ending your prompt with, let's think step by step. So here's an example. You're responding to an unexpected project risk. You prompt, how should I assess, communicate, and mitigate this risk? Let's think it through step by step. Even without laying out every variable, the AI knows to slow down, reason first, and build a more thoughtful answer. Here's the bottom line. Whether you fully map it out yourself or you shortcut it to 1 sentence, chain of thought prompting turns AI into a second brain that reasons clearly, not a parrot that guesses fast. And when your work reflects that level of clear thinking, that's when you start getting trusted with higher visibility projects and real leadership opportunities. And if you ever felt like your work gets overlooked, no matter how good it is, the next part is exactly why. Here's the real reason why this matters. And it's not just about saving time. At companies like Google, the people who moved up weren't the ones who worked the most hours. They were the ones who showed and demonstrated the clearest thinking. When your work reads like a list of tasks, you get seen as a task doer. When your work shows structured reasoning, risk management, and next move thinking, you get seen as leadership material. Chain of thought prompting isn't an AI trick. It's how you start getting recognized for the level you're already capable of, without waiting for someone to notice you. Chain of thought prompting is just one part of getting seen for the level that you're already operating at. But if you're still spending hours stuck in admin work with no one noticing, you're bottlenecking your own visibility. Now, if you've been failing to get a new job, check out this next video where I go over the main reasons why people fail their interviews. Make sure you're subscribed, and I'll see you there.